All right, Shalom Yasharala. Before we get started, we're going to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Back another video, another lesson, and we're going to be responding to this article here. Well, I got a title as well. It says, the elites are preparing to go underground. But this comes from an article. It says, this is from independent.co. It says, U.S. has a 21 trillion underground network for only the wealthy to hide out in a near extinction event, officials say. This came out Monday, May 5th. But I also got a video off Instagram. I'll play that for you as well. Replay it, so listen in.
Bush administration official has come forward with a claim that's difficult to ignore. According to the New York Post, Catherine Austin Fitts says the U.S. government has secretly constructed a $21 trillion underground city. She alleges that this was funded through nearly 2 decades of unaccounted-for federal spending, money that vanished from the ledgers of the Department of Defense and the Department of Housing and Urban Development between 1998 and 2015. Fitts describes a network of over 170 underground and underwater facilities, not shelters, cities, built to house the powerful in the event of a near-extinction event. She says they're connected by high-speed transit systems, hidden beneath the surface of the United States, powered by advanced energy technologies the public has never been allowed to see. No vote, no announcement, no media coverage, just decades of quiet construction, shielded from public knowledge. If what she's saying is true, then these places already exist. The entrances are in place, the infrastructure is operational, and they aren't meant for everyone. The public was never informed, no explanation has been given, no officials have stepped forward to confirm or deny any part of it. So we have to ask the obvious questions. What do they know? What are they hiding? And what happens to the rest of us when the doors close? Bush administration...
So, and this is a thing that has come out well, I'm pretty sure it's been out, but we know these elites have underground bunkers that they're going to go into when the time comes, right? It says the U.S. has built a secret underground city costing $21 trillion where the ultra wealthy can hide out during a near extinction event, a former government official has claimed. Catherine Austin Fitts, who served as the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President George H.W. Bush, made the shocking allegation on former Fox News host Tucker Carlson's podcast, according to Retailer.com. A stunning $21 trillion in unauthorized spending occurred in the department between 1998 and 2015, according to a 2017 report released by Michigan State University economist Mark Skidmore. Skidmore's report had been prompted by Fitts, referring to a report which indicated the Army had $6.5 trillion in unsupported adjustments or spending in fiscal 2015. Given the Army's $122 billion budget, that meant unsupported adjustments were 54 times spending authorized by Congress. Typically, such adjustments in public budgets are only a small fraction of authorized spending, the report noted. While on the Tucker Carlson show, Fitts said she spent years investigating where the $21 trillion had gone and discovered that there were 170 underground, and let me read it again, and discovered that there were 170 secret underground bases according to the U.S. All right, so they got these secret bases, all right, underground, and they're going to use those bases when the time of, really when those missiles are shot off and they're coming towards here in America, right? It says, one of those things I've looked at in the process of looking where, I'm a little excited, forgive me. One of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base. City infrastructure and transportation system that's been built, she said. We have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems, including bases located below oceans, she claimed. It was not immediately clear whether secret bunkers are located or among the elite or who among the elite might have access to them should disaster strike. It's also known the scope of the bunkers or the features of everyday life they include. The bases would be used if a near extinction event were imminent, or for the government to carry out secret projects, including a secret space program, Fitz claimed. Carlson noted he assumed such bases would only exist in Washington, D.C., to be used in the case of a nuclear war, to where Fitz responded, some of it is preparation for catastrophe. All right, so these people have, we know, like what's his name? The Mark Zuckerberg. He has a bunker. Matter of fact, look it up. Mark Zuckerberg bunker. See what comes up. Yep. It says Mark Zuckerberg is building a 5,000 square foot underground shelter as part of a $270 million luxury compound on Kauai, Hawaii. Okay, so these people have this stuff. All right, it's not, nothing new. I guess we can go into this. A Zuckerberg-style nuclear bunker on a budget. Cold War era nuclear bunker to go under the hammer for $20K. And you can read more into it if you like, but this is what they're preparing for. They're preparing for a nuclear attack. That's what they're preparing for. Okay. Now let's get I only got a few, but let's get Revelation 6. This is Revelation 6. And I'm gonna start at 12. The sixth seal, the heading is sixth seal terror. And it reads, not beheld. Then this is John the Revelator having a vision on the island of Patmos. Right? And this is not beheld when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Now these are talking about the nuclear warheads that's going to make its way to America and shut off from these different nations. He's seeing these warheads falling out of the sky like stars. Okay, it's gonna cause a great earthquake. It says, and when the heaven departed as a scroll, it says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. He saw that mushroom cloud, right? And every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So this is why they're going in those bunkers, man. Okay, because they want to hide from when the Lord of Yahweh Shai returns. They trying to hide from his wrath, but they won't be able to. Right? Matter of fact, let me get another one. This is Isaiah 34, because America's gonna be totally destroyed. Right? I'm gonna go straight to the point. Isaiah 34 and 4 says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Yeah, as a scroll. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Who's Idumea? All right, that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man who runs this world. Right? The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. This is where the great slaughter is going to be, in America. All right, Basra is a representation of America. This is because this is their capital, the capital city. You see? It says, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made with fatness. Okay? For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion, which is Israel. All right, so it's gonna come upon America, man. They're gonna flee into those bunkers. Well, they're going to, but they're gonna be taken out, which we'll get to. This is Isaiah 2. And I'll start at 17. It says, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth. For the fear of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols out of silver, and his idols of gold. Out of silver. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver, and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. You see, so they're going that's why they're building these, trillion-dollar cities underground, so they can be protected, so-called, from the return of Yahweh Shai, man. But guess what? Let's get Jeremiah 16. This is Jeremiah 16 and 16, and it reads, outside of 14, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. Where's the land of the north? Here in America. And from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers, which is the land of Israel. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. You see, so they're gonna be taken out of those bunkers, man. Taken from wherever they at, because we're gonna have that spiritual power to find them. Matter of fact, let me see if Isaiah. I know it's when is it 14? Let me see. I think is it 24? Yep. This is Isaiah 24 and 21. I'm gonna start at 20. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So the earth's gonna be rocking like a, when a drunk man, when somebody gets drunk, there, they all over the place. The earth's gonna be reeling to and fro like a drunkard. It's gonna be a great earthquake in that day, because from those nuclear warheads hitting America. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth up upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days they shall be visited. This is speaking of, Esau and the other, rulers of this earth, man. They're gonna be put in chains. All right, they're gonna be put in wherever they at. They're gonna be taken out of those, out of those bunkers, out of those shelters that they got that they're building, and they'll be put in chains, man. And they're gonna be working, continuing employment. Okay, let me highlight this: continuing employment. So there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run for them. See, so. But this is what they're doing. This is what they're preparing for. They're preparing for the end and for the return of Yahweh Shai, and for the destruction of America, because they know. So if they're going underground, where are the elect gonna go? Well, let's read it. This is Revelation 11. I'll start at 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And that cloud is a chariot. The elect gonna be beamed up into that spaceship. It says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. The 10th part of the city is America. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power, Yahweh of heaven. You see that? So that's where the elect is going to go. They're going to go into those chariots, man. They're going to go into those spaceships when Yahweh Shah and the angels return. And we're praying and hoping that we're of that number. We pray and hope that we get delivered from the destruction that's coming. So they preparing, the elites are preparing to go underground. They're preparing to, to go in those shelters, man. That's why it's being built. So, Lord willing, it was edifying. All right. U.S. has 21 trillion underground network for only the wealthy to hide out in a near extinction event, officials say, because they're planning. They think they're gonna rule forever. So they want to go under those bunkers and those shelters, and when all everything is settled, they'll come out and they'll start over. But that's not how it's gonna work, because the Israelites are gonna rule next. We got next, and we're gonna rule forever and forever, even forever and ever, man. And that's written. So we gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, the teacher and rule well. Peace and salutations to the 04 elect. Till next video, I'm gonna say Shalom.